What's up, everybody? It's your girl Jazz, and we are back to discuss Sisters Season 8. This is episode 12, I think. Yep. So that we are back for the second half of Sisters. And honestly, it's not a whole lot to talk about. Andy thought that she was, so it picks up where it left off. Andy thought that she was being followed. She thought that I call Hunter Gary little boyfriend because Hunter doing too much. He doing too much, and in my opinion, when you have to watch people like Hunter, because when a person do too much, when a person do too much the way Hunter is doing too much, a person's like that when their mannerisms like that, when they're doing too much like that, they're trying to cover their tracks to keep from getting caught from something. And if you pay attention to Hayden, when Hayden was talking to Hunter later on in the episode, Hayden picked up on it. But anyway, but so Andy defended herself against the guy. And I'm like, now come on now, Andrea. I know you saw Fat Man Scoop. I'm like, Andy, I know you saw this big dude. I know you saw him because he a hefty fella. And I know you saw him. I know you saw him. But anywho, I'm like, come on now, writers. Y'all got to do better than this. Make him discreet. And he was not discreet at all. Anyway, so Andy defended herself. She pepper sprayed him in his eyes. She punched him. I said, okay. For school of hard for a hard knocks for team of school of hard knocks. I'm here for it, baby. Anyway. So come to find out, Robin hired him to watch Andy, keep her safe and stuff like that. She apologized to him for hitting him and all of that. And then it cuts to, Robin pulled up on her and was like, I did that to keep you safe because I felt like you needed security measures and stuff as your attorney and all of that. Andy was like, well, effective immediately, you're fired as my attorney because I don't need you trying to control me. And I personally think that Robin means well, but I still think that Robin has ulterior motives as well. And I think that Andy has her defenses up because she was in an abusive situation with Gary for so long. She doesn't know who to trust as far as men go. She's literally gone from one abusive situation to another abusive situation. So she's super discombobulated, and her nervous system is messed up. Her immune system is messed up. She does not know who to trust, right? And Robin is like, man, he got defensive, which kind of let me know that Robin is up to something, because instead of him understanding why Andy is discombobulated, instead of him understanding why Andy's defenses are up, he automatically turns to getting defensive. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what y'all think in the comments. That honestly is one reason why I think Robin is up to something. Not, instead of him being sensitive to her emotions, he turns to, dang, you were just too much sometimes. Instead of him just hearing her, instead of him understanding and listening to her and understanding why she's saying what she's saying, and understanding why she's the way she is, he turns to, God, dog, you were just too much sometimes. Robin, just listen to her, bro. Anyway, so that happened. She ends up firing him, and I'm sorry, y'all. What y'all hear in the background is me making my coffee. But anyway, I'm about to sip my coffee and chat with y'all. Anyway, then Fatima calls and was like, you need to come to the hospital because we're at the hospital with Ken regarding the babies. I think they cut the scenes backwards because I'm like, hold on, how that happened and we haven't even seen the scene with them arguing at the house yet. Anyway, so that happened. Then I want to say it cuts to the scene with Krisha at Danny's house because Danny had a panic attack. And she was trying to understand why, she was trying to understand why it happened. She thought she was having a heart attack. The paramedics came. I'm going to go ahead and get them out the way. The paramedics came and they was like, no, you're not having a heart attack. You're having a panic attack. And this is pretty common when people are stressed out. So basically, the gist of that is Tony is the trigger. And Krisha was like, look, do you have a friend or somebody that you like for me to call? And Krisha actually did something. What she did is she cleaned up Danny's house. She stayed with Danny for a little while. They talked and stuff. And then she ended up calling Sabrina to come over. Sabrina was still with Rich. Of course, Sabrina freaked out. And they ended up going over there while Sabrina was on the phone with Krisha, Danny's therapist. Rich snuck and called Tony. And now, to be fair, Rich thought that he was doing what any normal guy would do when his girlfriend's friend is talking about they're having a health situation or having a panic attack. He called his friend, who happens to be dating his girlfriend's friend. Hey, bro, you need to get over to your girl. I think your girl needs you. She's having a panic attack. So I don't fault Rich for that. I personally don't. I think Rich did what he thought. He did what he thought he was supposed to do. I don't fault Rich for that at all. What I do fault Rich for is when they all got to Danny's house and Sabrina asked, did you call Rich? And he lied and said that he did not call him. That's what I fault Rich for. He should have just been honest and said, yeah, I called. I thought that's what Danny would have wanted. That's what I fault Rich for. I don't fault Rich for doing what he thought was best and what he thought that's what Danny wanted. And sidebar, what I don't like that all of the men and every guy, this is from Zach, Gary, every guy who's dating any of the sisters, what I don't like that all of the men do, excuse me, y'all, what I don't like that all of the men, and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, what I don't like that all of the men do when their back is against the wall, they lie. Every single last one of them, when their back is against the wall, when they feel like they've been caught when they feel like they've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar, like they're children, they lie. Instead of just being honest and saying, you know what, yes, I did X, Y, Z, yes. Y'all are finna be 40 years old. These women ain't gonna whoop you because you did X, Y, Z. Y'all are adults. The most that she's probably going to do is fuss at you or leave, whatever. But y'all are adults. She's not gonna do nothing to you, bro. Just be honest. Just be real, But I personally don't like that the men do that. When they've gotten caught or they feel like they've gotten caught, they lie. I don't like that. But anyway, that's pretty much what happened. Tony came and Tony rushed right over. Now, I personally thought that scene was funny. He rushed over there, and when he rushed in the door, he rushed in like he really rushed over, and he fell. He tripped and fell. I thought that scene was funny. But and Danny felt herself getting ready to have another panic attack. So it's clear that Tony is a trigger for her. And In my opinion, if Tony is that much of a trigger for her, they probably don't need to be together. So I think a conversation needs to be had. But that's pretty much that pretty much is them. And Tony does not understand that. Tony does not understand that. But that was them. Let's get to what the show really what really, what the show really was about in this episode. And let me sit down. Okay. So, let me sit down and get comfortable, child. Okay. So, Zach, Fatima, and Karen were all at the Taylor household, okay? And it picks up where it left off, where they were all at the house. And Fatima was being diplomatic with Karen and Zach. Karen pops up over at their house because Zach text her while she was at work at the shop, and he was sending her different schedules. He was sending her different pacifiers. He was sending her different formula and stuff. She didn't like that. Instead of her just texting back saying, hey, can you stop doing this? She felt the need to go over there, pop up. Once again, after they've told her, hey, please stop just popping up at the house. Please call first. Let's schedule something and go. And we can go from there. Fatima has told her this, has asked her this, and Zach has asked her this. Now, to preface this, they don't mind her coming over there. They just want her to call first, right? So, but she still does what she wants to do because she's Karen and she feels like she can do whatever she wants to do. Okay? Anyway. So, Fatima was like, what I particularly love about this scene is Fatima did not take Zach's side just because Zach was her man. She was thinking about the well-being of the kids, and she was thinking about the fact that, look, we all have to get along for the well-being of Karen's pregnancy, and we have to get along for the well-being of the children. So she wasn't just, look, I'm on Zach's side because that's my man. And I love that. And she also wasn't on, so there were moments where she was a girl's girl, and there were moments where she was, hey, this my man. And there were moments where she was, hey, both of y'all are being extra, both of y'all are wrong. So I love that. So, and I also love the fact that when it got to a point where it was about to get too hot in the kitchen, Zach was like, okay, whoa, okay, it's my fault. I'm the problem. I'll take the heat. Fine, whatever, So I love that Zach, and people don't think this, but Zach took accountability to keep them both from fighting. I love that as well. You know what I'm saying? So basically, Fatima was like, look, Karen, I get what you're saying, but you can't just be popping up over here. You can't just pop up over here. How would you feel if a woman that your ex was pregnant by when she said that rubbed Karen the wrong way, because Karen feels like she's more than that. She feels like the 3 years that the off and on 3 years that her and Zach were together, and the fact that she loves Zach holds more weight than the fact that than her being just a baby mama. You know what let me know what y'all think in the comments. So, Fatima saying that Karen being in love with Zach, Karen and Zach being together for off and on for 3 years, makes Karen feel as though she can pop up and do whatever she want to do with no and can't nobody say nothing to her. Right? Okay. And so there was even a point where when Fatima was like, Zach, you do be being extra, and you need to stop doing that. And Karen, you could have just sent him a text message and told him to stop doing that. And Karen was like, I thought you was on my side. And if you notice, that's a trait that Karen has, even with her friends. When people don't take her side, or when people tell Karen that she's wrong for something, she automatically internalizes that as, you're not on my side. You're not going to bat for me. And that's not the truth. I personally think that Karen needs to get some help for that, because that's not what that means. That's not what that means. And even if you go back to, if y'all remember the scene in season 5 when they did the letter reading, right? And Fatima was like, I want to talk about the B word. Now, I also want to talk about the fact that you've been, I understand that you love Zach. I get that. But y'all are over. Y'all not together no more. We are. And all this popping up at the house, unannounced, needs to stop. And Miss Lisa was like, hold on, you've been doing it. And Karen was like, Mama, hold on, whose side are you on? Karen expects people who love her to just shut up. Take her side, not to tell her she wrong, not to tell her when she needs to change something about herself, to just be quiet, sit or stand idly, and don't tell her nothing about herself. That is a narcissistic trait. Anyway, back to this. So Karen was like, well, so Fatima was like, both of y'all are being extra right now. And so Karen was like, well, your man chose to be extra. Your man chose to be extra on my phone. And I feel like I have a right to come defend myself. And Fatima was still being diplomatic. Okay, I understand that. I'm not saying, she basically was like, I'm not saying you don't have a right to be diplomatic, but you could have texted him back and said, stop. That is Fatima's big thing. They do not mind Karen coming over. Just call first. And even in last week's episode, Karen said, well, I texted him, told him I was coming over. He didn't text me back. Okay, so wait for a reply, baby. Not replying don't mean show up. Like, ma'am, you just want to pop up. And if we're being honest, this had nothing to do with the fact that Zach had been texting her phone that she showed up. She showed up to gloat about the fact that Zach had been texting her. She wanted to show up and gloat in Fatima's face that Zach had been texting her. The same way she called in the previous episode, the same way she had called Fatima. Did you know that Zach was up here? Oh yeah, girl. Hey Karen. Thank you for your honesty, but I already knew that he was coming. He told me before he was coming. Oh. Karen wants to one up Fatima so bad at every turn, and it pisses her off when she can't. She wants to get a reaction out of Fatima so bad, and she wants to make Fatima mad so bad, and it pisses her off when she can't. It makes her so mad that she can't. And every single time she pops up at that house, she always finds something out that she don't want to know. The last time she popped up over there, the first time she popped up over there when she was doing all that on that lawn, she found out that Fatima was living there, and she found out that Zach had a 3-year-old son, and she left crying. The second time she popped up over there, she found out they was engaged, and she saw all the pictures. Then she found out that Zach built that elementary desk for Fatima. Then now she done popped up again, and she done found out that Fatima is pregnant. And she done went into fake labor. She done made herself go into labor, and now she is lying. Now she finna lie to everybody and say that Zach and Fatima is pregnant, and their pregnancy made her go into false labor. Child. So Zach let it slip. He said, both of y'all pregnancies. I can't have both of y'all pregnancies stressing up. Whatever he said, it slipped out. And so they both looked at him. It's so Karen, what did you say, ma'am? What you gonna do? And my thing was, what are you gonna do? What are you going to do about it, sweetheart? You not gonna whoop him if he did say it. Fatima, are you pregnant? And if she is, what you gonna do about it, baby? What you gonna do? You are not these people's mama. And so Fatima was like, yes, Karen, we are. And I wanted to wait until I was further along to say something about it. And this is my thing, and I actually threaded about this. But here's my thing. The fact that Fatima and Zach wanted to wait to even say something to Karen about their pregnancy shows that Karen has too much bearing over their lives. This to me proves that Karen has too much control, and they need to stop that. The fact that they are considering Karen shows Karen feels like, what's the word I'm looking for? Karen already feels like, I don't know how our child is how our child is gonna fit in, and I don't want our kids to be raised separately and all of this stuff. Every time I make the argument that Karen is controlling, I get pushback. But look at the scope. The fact that Zach and Fatima are engaged and they're building their life, but they have to maneuver it because of Karen, shows that Karen has too much control, and she should not have. Karen is Zach's baby's mama. She's not his mama. She ain't his God. You know what I'm saying? She does not control anything. And if I'm honest, they do not owe her anything. Yes, as his baby's mom, they can decide to discuss things with her, but she's not the end all be all, and they don't make decisions based off of her. They don't have to make decisions based off of her. They don't owe her anything. They didn't owe her to wait to tell her anything. And the fact that they considered her is huge. And I think people need to think about that. She should think about that while she's sitting there talking about she's stressed. That all of this stuff is stressing her out. She's stressed her own self going over there. Anyway, so they get to the doctor. The doctor told her what she was having was Braxton Hicks contractions, and it was false labor. It was false labor. Fatima, still being diplomatic, told Zach. Of course, Zach was stressing out. Told Zach, you need to call Aaron because Aaron has the right to know because he's one of the dads. He called Aaron. Aaron comes. And the doctor, when Karen came out, Zach was, oh my God, all of that stuff, right? And so the doctor was like, you and your spouse don't need to be fighting no more. And Karen was like, unfortunately, he's not the spouse. And, all of that. And Aaron pulls up and he was like, he says it again. And Aaron was like, hold on, what were you arguing about? And Karen was like, well, it wasn't an argument, it was a discussion. And so Aaron gets mad and starts trying to fight, starts trying to fight with Zach, and was like, every time I try to be cool with you, you make it so hard for me to not be cool with you, and all of this stuff. And so Zach and Fatima both was like, hold on, it wasn't even like that. And Fatima was like, Karen, jump in here anytime. And Karen was just sitting idle, not saying anything, letting them argue, letting them fight. When she knows why, she knows what happened, she knows why they all were arguing in the first place, but she wasn't saying anything. And see, this is why, and I tweeted this, but this is what makes her manipulative, because she'll do things, especially when it comes to Aaron. She'll let Aaron say things and do things to Zach to quote unquote come to her defense, right? But she won't tell the entirety of the story, which makes it manipulative. It makes it manipulative, and because if you notice, she didn't jump in and say, "Whoa, Aaron, hold on. It wasn't even like that. Zach sent me," she didn't tell Aaron, hold on, Zach sent me some stuff. And I popped up at the house to talk about it. She didn't tell Aaron that. And let's be honest, she's not going to. She's not going to tell Aaron that at all. Because telling Aaron that is going to make Aaron ask her questions. Well, hold on, Karen. Why you popping up over there? Because didn't they tell you not to pop up over there no more? Aaron's going to ask that, or Aaron's going to say that. She has to look, quote unquote, perfect to Aaron. She don't want to disappoint him. Well, one, she don't want to disappoint him. Number two, she has to look perfect to him because she's perfect in his eyes. Karen can't do no wrong. Karen can't do no wrong in his eyes, and Zach the problem. Zach is the villain. In Aaron's eyes, Zach is the villain. Zach is the one who is always the one that's causing all the havoc, not Karen. And that's exactly how Karen wants it, which makes her manipulative and makes her a narcissist. And if we're honest, so is Aaron. Aaron is narcissistic too. But that is how the episode ended. It ended with all of them at the hospital and Zach and Aaron arguing, and Zach and Fatima about to leave. And Aaron makes the comment, yeah, please leave. And thankfully the children will have one role model, sir. And here's my thing. Aaron is a community leader, a preacher, a teacher in Atlanta. That is the storyline, right? He was married for 20 years and his wife cheated. He left his wife. They had children together. He meets Karen. He starts seeing Karen. His wife kills herself in front of Karen. The coroner couldn't even get the body, the ME couldn't even get the body good. And Aaron is kissing on Karen and stuff, right? The day of the funeral, Aaron was in a hotel room with Karen. And Zach caught them together. Okay. Aaron gives up rights to his children, the children that he raised for 20 years with his wife. He gives up those rights to the children, to his in-laws, and he ain't seen them since. But he's hollering that Zach is, but he's hollering that Zach is a bad role model. He was hollering about how he has a group of men that he mentors and all of this stuff. That he's a preacher at this church and all of this stuff. But he running up behind a woman that he don't even know, that he done put a baby up in. That he's half a baby father for. That he's half a baby father for. He's half a baby father for. And Zach is a horrible role model. Sir, please. I call projection. But anyway, that's how the episode ended. That is how the episode ended. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And I am going to do... Zatima is coming. So I am going to do the first 4 episodes of the second half. That is coming sometime today. But I love y'all. Don't forget to hit the button. And don't forget to comment. And send y'all friends to my channel. And thank y'all so much. I love y'all in real life. Have a good one.